And I'll tell you when. It'll give me the announcement on our screen.
Josh Mack said, let's go.
Okay, you're live.
Thanks.
Good evening. Welcome to Crazy Creativity with Ms. Wendy Quick and Ms. Summer Rose over here, my co-host. We are so thankful to have you here tonight on this grand Tuesday night. We are here to talk about fashion shows, and everything to go along with it. We just had us a fashion showcase of sorts this past weekend that I believe was very successful. Seems to think that all of our models and guests and such felt the same way. We're happy to say that we're going to have another coming up in October. Vendors and designers are already booking their spots. Models have already started their confirmation for the casting call and rehearsals. So I'm so excited about that. How about y'all? How's everybody today?
We are. Go ahead. You tired? Summer, you tired? Why are you tired?
We've been testing for the last 2 weeks at my school.
Testing, like the STAR test or
Mock
what?
stars.
Oh, okay.
Well, and y'all don't think she didn't have a hand in the fashion showcase this last weekend. We had us a fabulous 2-part showcase. The first showcase spotlighting a lot of children, and the second showcase showcased a lot of leg.
A lot of leg.
A lot of leg. But,
Of,
you know, I tell people all the time that there are several places that you can showcase leg. The beach is one of those, which is one of the lines that we had in the nighttime was actually swimwear. I did personally like my piece, even though I need a tan. I did like my piece. It was actually designed, I thought just for me.
just for you, huh?
There were several evening type things, and like exercise. I liked my little outfit that I wore because, quite honestly, I would wear that during the day while I'm working around the house, or I'm having to do things, or I'm cleaning up. It was nice. It was comfortable. And well, if the hubby came home, it would be okay because it was nice and velvety and nice to the touch.
Right.
So, it was right up the alley, which is what I was working on. Everybody forgets that there are wives out here that have to do things, and sometimes we just don't want to go out into the public stores. And so a fashion show where you can see what you like, maybe pick what you like, is a whole lot nicer. It's more of a private kind of thing because you're just going to get with a designer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you can already see what it looks like on celebrity.
And I like that. I'm like her. You can see actually what you're getting, and I like that it gave me an opportunity to showcase my boutique rentals. I had fun with that. It's the first time Rocket City Romance has been able to put anything out like that, and I did that in honor of my mom because she took my night of romance and turned it into a business. So, because, well, in my back days, I used to do lingerie home parties. It's very hard to do lingerie home parties to couples because a lot of times it's either we don't need that stuff or, whatever. Well, you only keep a happy marriage if both wife and husband are happy, with every part, not just to the public space, but behind the closed doors too.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of people forget that there's actually a love story in the Bible, a whole chapter book that talks about it. It even talks about breasts.
Breasts in the Bible?
Yes. Breasts in the Bible. And it's actually the Book of Solomon. The Book of Solomon is an awesome love story.
Okay.
And a lot of people read past that. They don't think about it. But you can also teach your teens that way, because Solomon changes a whole lot of things, just for one.
Solomon.
Yes, he does.
Okay. What do you say? What do you say to the men or to the women, depending on the relationship? What do you say? You said, and this is in relation to what you said a few seconds ago about to keep the fire alive. You know, you might need to wear something.
Right.
What do you say to the men and the women that say, well, he doesn't need all that, or she doesn't need all that. We're good without it. What do you say to that?
Maybe they haven't experienced it, or haven't experienced it in the right way. I'm 31 years this year down the line, and most people don't realize that we've been married for that long. You know, they don't understand that we're in our 50s and that we've been together forever. That this is not our only child and not the first of many.
I look at
This
my
is
friends.
the last one, and we're grandparents. And you know, when you get older, it's just nice to keep the spice there. And if he's all happy and excited to get home to the wifey, is he going to have traveling eyes?
Is he?
He'll be less to have traveling eyes if he knows he's headed home to something that will take care of every pleasure he's got at home.
Most guys.
Yes.
Not all.
Not all,
Not
but
all.
most. And so it just gives them a better opportunity.
What is she smiling?
Lugging it out.
Oh, tuning it out.
And so that's basically what the second half was showcased for, was aimed at the audience that don't always go out on top of, as our designer said, you know, if there's single ladies out there, he also, you know, if you're looking for a mate, he puts out that men like to look at.
Right.
And so, well, yes, men designers generally put out what men like to look at.
Right. Exactly. And there was a lot.
Which was okay.
That he was showing.
Yes.
That they were showing in the evening event, the evening fashion show. I'll get my tongue together eventually. For some reason I can't talk tonight. But yeah, he was the fashion designers were showing a lot of skin the second half of the event.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why we sent the kids home.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That's why there was no one under the age of 18 there. None of the models were below 18. As a matter of fact, I don't think any of those models were below 21.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if they're legal to drink, they're legal to buy a firearm, they're legal to put on a bathing suit that's a little skimpy or a piece of, and actually, I found that some of those pieces of lingerie that I saw were actually very tasteful. Like, what does she call herself? Pinky now. That was one of the most adorable bodysuits I've seen. You know, and
the pink fur?
Yes, and for larger women, that's, you know, they want something that's beautiful and tasteful and makes you go, ooh, just as well as any other girl.
Yes, ma'am.
And he spotlights all girls and all sizes and all body types. And so we wanted to allow that too. And how often are you going to go into the thing and be able to try it on yourself? And so some of these models were actually able to try some of these pieces on and find out, oh, I like this piece. Oh, maybe I like this piece. Well, maybe I don't like this piece so much, but you know, at least I gave it a shot. You know.
So even if they didn't walk the runway with it, they still had an opportunity to try it on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because not all of the models came out on the runway because they were like, well, maybe not so much. And of course, my daughter didn't want to parade around in front of her dad and her brother.
I think I had something to do with
my
that.
brother from another mother.
And she was all gung-ho about doing it. And I was like, your dad's out there. And she's like, yeah, and so is my brother. And I'm like, girl, I'm 15. I'm not walking out there like that. So then when she said that, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said anything. Because I think she would have done it if I wouldn't have said anything.
And her bathing suit actually was very cute. It was
cute.
It was one
It just
that
showed a
you
lot.
would wear in Austin or California, Florida. Don't get me wrong. You know what? I have seen it on Galveston Beach. I have seen some bathing suits that have left little to the imagination
No, you haven't.
in Galveston. You know, so it's not like it's not there. It's just how you raise it. And this is what I say. It's the human mind to automatically think the dirty thought.
Right.
We came into this world on natural. When God made Adam and Eve, he did not make them to cover. It was when they partook of the sin that left their mind away. So if you just keep your mind godly and keep it on the right track and keep it out of the enemy's hands, then you don't have no issues to begin with. Which is the whole point in educating people on the, do it this way and don't do it that way. Because guaranteed, everybody knew my husband was there at the show. I introduced, I pinpoint, oh, that's my partner, and don't hit me up in my inbox because that's for what's your intent. I'm a happily married wife. Oh, don't tell me you didn't see that on my page. It pronounces it really big on the top.
Who does that sound like?
So, there's no going around it. But I also am a happily married wife, and I keep a happily married husband.
Right.
And so I want to make sure that I promote those same kind of things to the community. And we raise awareness about domestic violence in the same notion, because I'm sorry, just because a girl puts on a skimpy bathing suit doesn't mean she's asking for trouble.
Right. Does not mean that at all. And that's what I was telling you off camera about some guys.
Yeah.
I've been around all kinds of guys. I've been around guys that, like me, who know how to, talk to a woman.
Right.
And I've been around guys that don't know how to talk to women, and their only game is to be vulgar.
Vulgar.
For lack of a better word right now. So when I was around all of that, I was just like, okay. Because I walked back there one time not knowing. And I was like, oh, I forgot about this. Okay, so, and I think y'all told me, or somebody told me you have to go around. So that's when I went around. But some guys, can't handle that. That would have been a perfect opportunity.
Yes.
For them,
It is.
So, yeah, I've been around some guys like that.
Not
proud to say it. But.
Yeah, and then that's why I speak so much about the awareness in the community and in the industry, because there are so many instances where, as I was talking about on screen or off radio, that there are times when we're all in the same room. There's no barriers, there's no things. And so you have to be able to work around those instances sometimes. So, there are actually pop-up dressing rooms where you go in and you can change inside it. Mm-hmm. They sell them in the camping area at most camping stores, like Academy and Outdoors. You can always keep a pair of underneaths. I even have one that's literally a whole body piece that I can wear at times. I did not have it.
You didn't have it? She said I did not have it.
But they do have the options out there to keep it in. Now, thankfully, where we were at, there were opportunities to either cut around the corner, go in the door. We use the kitchen as a dressing room. The kitchen. We used it as the dressing and makeup room. So we utilize space. But it's so much easier when the ability to separate the two is there. It's just not always there.
Not always there.
And so you need to raise the awareness with those that are in the industry that, just because it's like that doesn't mean that he has the right to, sexually harass you or or say lewdness to you or be vulgar or just, sit and stare at you or any of these kind of things, if this kind of stuff goes on, we need to be aware of it. You know what I'm saying? We want to know if a photographer, it gets a little creepy, or if a makeup artist gets creepy, or if you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because there's so many people out here in different areas. And, my mom used to say, well, it's this kind of an area. Well, guess what? Those same kind of people also go visit the parks where there's simple-minded little kids and moms that are dressed like little Bo Peep, and they're still, it's still a turn on to them. So it matters not if their mind is going to go there, then their mind is going to go there no matter what.
Right.
The enticement is not yours; it is in their mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
Because that was the whole part of the issue, and it's really sad that it continues to go that way, but it does. Not everybody can say it's no big deal. Look the other way, go some kind of direction. But we had a successful show.
Yes.
And we had everybody doing that. Oh, let me go that way.
It got me one time or twice.
It did, but that's okay. And it actually turned out to be very successful. As you see, a lot of the times, girls are in their Spanx or in their undergarments to begin with. So
Yes, indeed.
we make it pretty well done, and we were very happy about the Speak Up and Speak Out. We're not fooling around with domestic violence showcase. For the very first show, it was very successful as far as I'm concerned. I don't think anybody went away mad. They haven't complained to me, and I would get heavy complaints. I didn't. I can't wait for the next one. We've already set the date for October 22nd. It is going to be the Speak Up, Speak Out. We're going to squash domestic violence. I love these themes, and I think I'm going to stick with them yearly. It'll be annual events because I like it. That's right at fall time when squash and pumpkins and all of that is and I was actually pleased to have people tell me that it was actually educational, and thank you for pointing out that kids are involved in it, because a lot of times people don't include the kids.
Never.
And that's an issue for me, and I'm glad that a lot of people were happy with that part and that it was so successful for the first show.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it's going to get nothing but bigger and better from here. I've already started talking to overseas designers that want to bring their stuff here. And what better way than to start in a big city like Houston? And I've talked to someone that's a designer out of Wisconsin that's actually doing a designer tour right now. I'm very pleased with that we're working on. Hoping she's got the the October 22nd open and available, because if so, then she will most likely be bringing her showcase of clothing. And her stuff is a wide variety of like bodycon style as well as nightclub attire. I've seen a lot of her stuff, and it's really cute. It will probably be in the nighttime showcase. I can't tell you that because it's along the lines of Acom Fashions or Team Fashions. I'm going to end up doing that wrong. She always corrects me on that. I don't know how to do it any other way except for to say Miss Mika's line or her boutique. And then the other two are actually like formal wear and fun fashion type clothing. So this will be an opportunity for ladies going off into pageants and getting ready for pageant season, which is right around that time. They can come in and do some shopping, get a look. They've got state and international pageants starting around that time. So that would be a great opportunity for some of the local people to actually get designs that you're not going to get from overseas. They'll be here. I've seen some amazing fashions in an international pageant because those girls have amazing designers over there. And they're used to working with those because they've been doing pageants forever. And so their designs are just awesome. But you've seen some of the dresses that I use in my rental boutique. They're really cute.
Yes.
You can actually use some of them for events, special events. You know, if you're going to a gala or a honoree thing, like what is it, with the Great and Bougie events, or the one that the Houston's Housewives puts on that they do. There's so many amazing events that go on through the year that are specialties where you have to wear, you know, beautiful, fashionable attire. And what better way to do it?
Exactly.
You know, it may just be a once in a lifetime, it may not. So either you buy it or you rent it. I'm a rental place, or you can go out and buy, and that's what I think that your options were there. You could see that there were different types, and I really, really loved the blue jean line that Camario came out with.
Oh yeah.
That was amazing.
I
It
love
was
that dress.
amazing. That the dresses were, and so I think she's actually fixing to do a thought of a fun fashion line where it's puffy and fantastic, and so with trains and shorts and pants together, and that's kind of cool to me. So I was excited about that. And it was good networking because it's an opportunity that some of us wouldn't have had otherwise. You know, it got us all together, and for a great cause, because raising awareness about all the types of domestic violence is important. And I'm pretty sure that we actually ended up covering all of those different types during the show as well. And so it helped kids to realize that they also can say something, you know, if they can speak up and speak out, that they don't have to be quiet.
That's right.
So, you know, that's part of the whole thing. So yes, she's steadily trying to get these butterfly all attention. She don't want to give the radio show no attention. She just wants to give her book attention.
Is that the same butterfly that you showed off at the event? No. Okay.
No, but butterflies are what I use as an analogy as to what we are as survivors. Because we don't always realize it. As I shared, I've been told I'm not a survivor. I'm not done with it yet. No, you're still a survivor. You're a survivor until you have become victim. And we've had so many that have become victim because they didn't realize that they could get out of that cocoon.
Didn't realize.
Yeah. And so I think that's what we need to raise the awareness of. And so I tell people that, you know, butterflies are that magical spot that God does for survivors, because we find ourselves to be lowly caterpillars. You know, you look at a caterpillar, not too many of them are very beautiful. Some of them are kind of deadly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And hurt people, so that would be the deadly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they have to take this long period in this cocoon before they come out this beautiful piece of work.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, an amazing, beautiful piece.
Have to go through an ugly phase.
Yes.
And come out beautiful.
And so,
Puberty.
yeah, something like that, but a little strenuous, because in that process, there's a lot, you know, that's all the trauma that we deal with. That's, you know, all the side effects, the mental anguish, all of that. You know, some of us only have 6-month cocoon stages, and some of us have 40-year cocoon stages. You know, so it just depends. And then when you become that butterfly, people forget that butterflies are still delicate. There are certain ways you can't touch us, because if you do, we can't fly anymore.
Right.
You know,
We just talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah.
We just talked about that. It's something as innocent as is touching their face gently
Yeah.
to place a kiss on them could trigger someone's memories.
Just an instance of something without, knowing that that's what it was. Sometimes it's a song, sometimes it's a moment, sometimes it's a thought, or a whisper that brings back the thought of that moment. And so that's when it's time to, let the butterfly just gather itself back up. Because sometimes they can fly, sometimes they don't, go back into it. And so being delicate with them is something that we try to do.
Right, definitely. At all times, we try to do that. DeForest
Yes.
is on the live feed. I can't put a face with it right now. But DeForest Bonner.
Yes, she was one of our models. I love DeForest. She helped so much during the fashion show. She
Okay.
was amazing.
I can't see because her picture's so small. I'm sorry, DeForest, but DeForest says
She was the one that was kind of directing and helping Wendy get the models and the kids and stuff out.
Yes. She's a teacher.
Okay. I'll click on your profile picture when we get done. I apologize for not remembering who you are. But DeForest got up here and said when we were talking earlier about how the show was, and I forgot everything we said. But she said it was a great show. The show was great, and I enjoyed being a part of it. And it was for a worthy cause. And she came back and said, I think we were talking about
The after show.
we were talking about how some men can handle it.
Oh,
and
yes.
Some can't. She said, I think that's what she was referring to because she said, I think it's part of how men were raised.
It is.
Yeah.
It actually is. And that's a good awareness that she's bringing to it, that it is really on how some are raised, because some are raised that way and some are not. My son was raised a very gentleman. He doesn't look at women like that. So, it's not the same for him. My husband was not, raised to look at women like they're just a piece of object or meat or, and so sometimes it does, come from raising, but it also comes with what society has around it. Some people instantly go to the dirty thought and dirty side of things. Believe me, I've had a couple of hits in my inbox about how wow the show went and how the world has gone bonkers, this, that, and the other because of causes and this, that, and the other, and I had someone go as far as to use the word preacher with me. And here's the thing is, it's not for me to pass judgment or to lead or to convert anyone to belief in Jesus Christ.
Right.
What I know is God created me to be in his likeness. The enemy got in our minds to make us have to wear clothing because we always think of it as a dirty mind. And that's where the instance is, because when you come into this world, what do you come into this world as?
Naked.
With nothing on. That is not how God created you. He did not create you with clothes on. He didn't create you with fur. We have hair, but we don't have fur that covers our skin all the way. We don't have feathers. We don't have those things because that wasn't what we were meant to be. Had we not bit of that fruit or that tree of knowledge, then we wouldn't know any other way than it's okay.
I wonder if Judas Cats are Christian.
That's a good thought. All I know is that if you don't put a shame on it, then it's, sin is then a sin of it. Nothing in itself is a sin until you make your mind that way. That is divorce. And so taking your mind there makes it a dirty thing. Otherwise, it's just a nice piece of this. It's a nice piece of that. Oh, that bathing suit looks really good on you. Actually, I like that piece of lingerie. There were times when I was a big girl. I didn't have pieces of lingerie that I liked. I really liked a couple of the pieces that I saw that were tried on. kind of made me jealous. I don't got curves no more.
Right.
You still got curves.
Not the curves I used to have. I would have been able to fill them out. I can't wear them now.
You can't wear them no more.
And so it made me kind of, a little envious of the fact that there was not that kind of designs when I was trying to do it. It's t-shirts and this, and well, maybe I want to be sexy for my husband at home.
Right.
And I personally keep my modeling style very conservative to a point because I am a crown holder. I am a minister. I'm not going to go around with a see-through shirt if it's, and you'll see me walking around like this if I've got something that I think isn't a problem and I'm having to find an attire issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the way I hold myself. But I'm a married woman of 31 years. There may be a girl out there that's really wanting to spot that husband and catch his eye, and that may be how she does it.
Right.
It's not of me to judge. It is, however, for me to teach, like I taught my girls, love thy neighbor does not mean sleep around with everybody. It means to give an explanation of you care for that person higher and greater than your only cares. It's not always about sexual orientation because love is not physical. Love is not an emotion. That's just the cop-out of everybody because love is actually an action. It is an action. It is putting someone else's needs and cares before yours.
Yumiki is on the live feed. Hello, Yumiki. Hello, Yumiki. Call in. We'd love to hear from you. She didn't say anything but hello. But yeah, love. She gets on me all the time. More, especially when I'm mad. And I think we've talked about this before. When I'm mad, I don't like to show the love so much.
Right.
And she's like, I can tell you don't love me. And I'm like,
but because that's not really how it is. So that's the affection. So that's the lack of it is sex is fornication. That tender touch and stuff, that is affection. It's not love. Love literally is what God tells us, which is putting someone else first, doing for someone else that is least of us, making sure that someone has their shirt on your back because they don't have one. Give them your shoes too.
You can wear my jacket once.
You know what I'm saying? And that is literally what it is. It's not all those other things. All those other things are what came upon everything else because fornication is actually for making children.
Right.
I mean, that's what he made it for. It was for multiplication and, supplying more seeds.
Yes.
It's not about pleasure. It's not supposed to be. And if it is about pleasure, it's supposed to be between partners for life.
Yeah.
And, it's not supposed to be everybody and their neighbor.
It's not supposed to be a buffet.
That's right. Just because we have indulged ourselves on buffets does not mean that it's correct and proper. That is the closest way that I have ever seen somebody put it. It's not a buffet. I like that. I always say just because I'm on a diet doesn't mean you have to look at, you can't look at the menu. But you know what? I'm very happy at home. So guess what? I really don't look at the menu. There's no need. I'm very happy with the dish I have. and I like it. And it was great to see that he jumped in to help. That made my day. It made my night. And it was fun. Everybody was like, whoa, because they've never seen my husband get involved. And so that was kind of neat because he kind of threw for lack of better words, a screwball in on everybody. And so, you can have fun without getting out of the box and getting to disturbing points of views. And that's the whole We need to make awareness. Why are you looking at me,
Because
stupid?
I have a random question in my head.
Okay.
Did Noah bring a woman with him on the ark?
He brought his wife and his children.
He
his
had a
family.
wife? Why does it never talk about that in children's Sunday school? I didn't learn that. I just thought it was one old dude and a whole bunch of animals on a boat.
You need to pay attention more in church.
Like, I knew there was Adam and Eve.
He said, I just thought it was an old dude.
My friends thought there was Adam, Eve, and Steve. That was weird.
Where'd you go, you Mickey?
My friends got Steve from Adam and Eve. But I knew there was Adam and Eve.
Yes,
Somebody
Noah
told me they
and
once
his
went
wife
to
and
another
his
vi-
family.
Somebody told me that Adam and Eve went to another village, and that's how they populated the whole earth. I thought they were the only two created at the time.
They're not. They just happened to be the ones that walked in the Garden of Eden at that point. Because it says
They were
he
the
cast them
first
out
ones
upon the
created.
nations. So therefore, there had to be others there. That's why you have to learn to
And
read the
then-
Bible.
Were they vegetarians, or did they eat the lions and the giraffes and the animals that were in there?
I wasn't there during that time. You have to ask them.
Yeah, that's them. Adam!
But they don't say that in the Bible.
When it
They
comes
ate
to
the
the end
lions.
of
They
days,
don't
you
say
can
that.
ask them that if you can remember it when it comes time.
I'm gonna be
At
like,
this
did
point,
y'all eat your
we're
lions?
going to go ahead and turn our attention to some of the upcoming fashion shows. We've got Hoodlum of the Opera coming up. I believe it is May 15th. We have the 3rd annual Human Trafficking Awareness Hidden in Plain Sight event coming up July 24th. I'm excited to be part of that one this year. Miss Summer debuted herself big time last year at this event. By this time, she was becoming a big time model. She had that walk down pat. People were like, she's what? So we're excited to be part of that event. Again, this year I get to be part of the crew. And we're just trying to, I guess, just keep everything going creatively in the city of Houston here, as well as elsewhere. I've noticed that some of our local designers and fashion people have started touring other cities like Atlanta, Georgia, and Mississippi and stuff like that. There's been a couple of shows outside of the state for some of our people. I'm excited for that. I wish them all the best and all the love. We're going to hopefully have us some major people at our Speak Up and Speak Out. We're going to squash domestic violence. Fashion vendor and music showcase. It will be the same as this one. There will be a daytime family-friendly showcase, and then there will be a not-so-family-related showcase. It's not family-friendly. If you don't like that showcase, stay at home. Don't watch it. As you see, we don't do video. We did post a few pictures, but that was with an okay of models saying, yeah, that was all right. You will not find too much of a lewdness on there, as we don't want to be locked off of Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole bunch of live nudity or none of that. We are respectful. We do want our models to be respected and understood, but we also want to give them freedom of their own voice, their own abilities, and we want them to know that they're beautiful. And that comes with being able to be you without being judged, without being, bullied, without being told that you're not enough or that it's dirty, gross, or disgusting, or that you should feel dirty, gross, or disgusting. Because we're not. We're all God's beautiful creatures. We're all His beautiful creations. Every little spot, speckle, curve, dimple, no matter what it is, that is what makes us who we are. And no one should be ashamed of it. Now, granted, I don't believe that we should go out and, like I said, love thy neighbor doesn't mean sleep with the entire neighborhood. I will not preach
Some people think that.
all this, what is it, promiscuity. No, I do not promote promiscuity,
Summer.
but I do not,
Can you go let Sky in, baby?
I do not hinder someone else because it's not upon me to judge. He says, judge not lest ye be judged. We're all going to stand in front of him one day. I mean, he says, love your neighbor and teach him about me.
Right.
And that's exactly what's going on is I'm teaching and loving and getting awareness out there and letting people have a good time at the same time.
There you go. I think you did. I think you did an extraordinary job. For those of you who are watching, Crazy Creativity with Miss Wendy Quick, we are talking about this past weekend's event. It was called the Speak Up, Speak Out. We're not fooling around with domestic violence anymore. Fashion show, and that's what we had. We're not messing around with domestic violence anymore. We had a 2-part show. We had a 2-part show. One part of the show lasted from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. The other part of the show lasted from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and we had a blast. If you missed it, that's all right. We've got plenty of other shows coming up very soon. And speaking of those other shows that are coming up very soon, Wendy, can you go over what's coming up soon? You just mentioned them, but I forgot.
Oh yes, we have I can tell you the Hoodlum of the Opera that's coming up. It's a Tone Productions. I believe his name is Marcus Mudd. Where I got into being one of the models, Summer and I actually got to see myself in a commercial. It was really nice. He made a commercial, so I'll share it again on my Crazy Creativity page, off of my page. But right now it is on my page. It's a commercial about the Hoodlum of the Opera. And then we have the 3rd annual Human Trafficking Awareness event called Hidden in Plain Sight, which is July 24th. That is Miss Mika Palmer and her awareness. That's actually, I'm pretty sure she had a day given to her last year at our proclamation given to her last year. I was able to get pictures and see and be part of that. It was just an amazing thing. She does an amazing thing for the community as far as awareness and getting it out there. And so I'm just happy to promote her event. She does have VIP tickets as well as general admission. There's a 3-course meal comes with her VIP tickets. And let me tell you what, I got VIP tickets last year. It was well worth its price. It was well worth the food, and the venue is always good. They just inspire me to do better. Because they've been doing it, but they seem to think that we did a pretty good job at our first Speak Up, Speak Out event, and so I'm happy with that. And there's just going to be more and bigger and better and just upgoing events.
Tell the listening audience how you came up with that name. Speak Up, Speak Out. We're not fooling around with domestic violence anymore.
Well, first of all, it's right around April Fool's. Last year it was gonna be on April Fool's, so that's what really set it. So this was rescheduled from last year. Because of COVID, it shut it down. So I actually tried to redo it in October. It was just not enough. Not enough venues really wanting to accommodate yet. And so when we were able to hold it, it was just better. And it's because I want people to realize to speak up and speak out. So we have a lot of things that we say, that my girls and I, that we use as slogans, like you have to have a good unit in order to have unity in the community.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
It all goes together. You have a strong unit, you can do amazing things when you have unity, and you're using your unity out in the community, because then you can make a unity in the community, because they're all going to see you. They're all going to want to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody wants to succeed like someone else. So I use it because children are always told, be quiet. Don't say anything. I was told you can't say anything. You can't use that. What are you doing? You're not supposed to talk about that. Yes, you are. Yes, you should. Maybe if you speak up and speak out, there's going to be less of it done because awareness will start being made. Because instead of the norm being it's okay, the norm will start to be to speak up and speak out about it.
Right. Okay. I love the name of it. At this time, the next time around, I'll make sure. I felt bad. I felt bad every time I posted. I'm like,
what's the name?
I veered off away from your name, and just because I wanted to shorten it. But
well, you know, everybody wants to shorten it too. They're like, you need to shorten it. Why do I need to shorten it? If I shorten it, then you're, you know, okay, flip off down the road. But if it's long, you have to go, wait, what did you say again?
Right.
So you have to give a double attention. So I like the fact that the event names are long, like my nonprofit name. It makes them stop. But I mean, really, it is just to raise the awareness of speaking up and speaking out, because
a lot of people don't speak out.
They don't. A lot of people don't speak up. They don't speak out. They don't talk about it. They don't raise the awareness so that signs and red flags are able to be known. If you don't speak up about the fact that the babysitter shouldn't touch you in this particular way and talk to you in this particular way or go in this fashion, and when he says you have to be quiet, that's an immediate sign to speak up, speak out to somebody, tell someone. You know, it's too many times wives don't say anything because they're too afraid. He might be too influential. He might be too much this. And the same with the men. Because women have major power nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Women are just as much in power as men are nowadays, and getting to be even more equal the more time goes.
Uh-huh. And
so if you don't speak up and speak out, how are you going to raise the awareness? You have to, in order to raise awareness.
You have to. You have to do that.
Yep.
You did a great job, and I can't wait to take part in other events. Can't wait. The next one's October, right?
October 22nd. It's the Speak Up, Speak Out. We're going to squash it.
I'm going to try to
squash it in bud. Domestic violence.
Okay. I'm going to try to get this hip together. I might even walk the run rate. I might even walk the 40.
There you go. I'm actually reaching out to a few men's tuxedo and suit boutiques to see if we can't have some of them there. I did have a couple of designers that didn't get the information quick enough this time and really wanted to be part of it. And so I'm going to see if we can't have some like everyday wear too. There's a lot of us that wear active wear, that wear jogging pants. I'm going to
We need to get Mike. I've asked Mike
I was
several
going to
times.
say, we'll talk to You Wear Gear. Miss Summer is an ambassador and loves to wear these clothes. All she could do is, my hat. I need my hat.
Find it last week.
And so she was upset. And so she was happy that I brought it and put it where she could see it. And she was like, I was looking for this. I was like, it was hidden in plain sight. But yeah, so that we can have, jogging pants, t-shirts. I want somebody that sells like religious sayings and stuff. In case y'all didn't notice, I wear a lot of named shirts. I'd like somebody that is into like kingdom wear, that promotes love and stuff like that. I'd like to see that out here. I want to get it out here. What better way than to put it on someone that can show that, oh, we can wear that? Because a lot of times they're like, what's that size? I don't know. I'm kind of big. Well, if you see it on someone your size, it's easier to go, I can wear that. That actually looks good. You know what? Let me go talk to that person.
I'll make it graphic design.
And so this helps with that. That's the whole point, is I want to make that possibility. And to know that networking was done very well at our event. And that, no matter the hiccups that we had with our first show with music or this, that, or the other, It actually turned out very well. People stepped up to fill in. People stepped up to help. Things went off without too big of a hitch. No one left angry. No one left feeling like they were used, abused, or taken advantage of.
Right.
And sometimes you have that, and so it just excited me because generally it gets around to talk, but it's 3 days later and everybody's still talking about how a good time they had. And to me, that is an important part, is that we all had a good time, even in the midst of dismay, or the first production, or the first thing going on, or not, having this, that, or the other. And the fact that it was 2 in one day, and it confused a lot of people. But really, if you paid attention, you could either pick one show or 2. It did say it.
It did say that.
And so it really wasn't long hours. The only long hours was as if you were in both showcases.
Right.
But we did pretty well to try to accommodate that. I'm in love with who is it? Chef what?
Dior.
Chef Dior. I love the fried fish. Oh my. Let me tell you, that makes me not want to try nobody else's fried fish outside of home and hers. Because it was really good. I ate it when I got home. The eat cold fried fish. And it still be good. It was good. I can imagine what the Philly cheesesteak egg roll was like.
I only got to taste a bite.
Is it a good bite?
The bite that I tasted was good.
Yeah, you better get it while you can, otherwise they'll finish it off in a heartbeat. All right, well, we thank you for joining us tonight. It is getting about that time to be wrapping it up, but we do appreciate you coming out, tuning in to Crazy Creativity with Ms. Wendy Quick and my co-host, Ms. Rose. We are looking forward to some more things coming up, y'all. See you next week on Tuesday between 8:30 and 9:30. See everyone next week. Have a good week.
Awesome.